Alright class, this is the second video. We're going to jump a little more in depth into things that are here on the site, and please take the time to look at the site, see what you have here, see what's up here, but I want to do an intro video to it first. So, we covered the course syllabus last time here. Let me jump back to home here. Alright, when you come into home, what you have is you have the introductory videos, which we just saw. And then you have just a quick instructions on how to use these modules here. And I'll explain as we go here. So, just introduction, if you want to read it so you actually have it black and white here, that's fine. Okay, so the way I've outlined this course is that these guys are PowerPoint videos, or PowerPoints. Clicking on that, and they are in your files menu as well. And let it load here. There it is. So if you want to download them as well, that's fine too. If you want to take a look at them through the site itself, that's okay too. Looks like there are 18 different slides here right there, and you go through it. So one way that you can do it is just going to scroll through this here. You read. These are very quick pieces of the course, what's there. So overview of stats is 1.1, data collection and experimental design. That's what chapter 1 covers. And then you go through the slides here, and you, again, it's just bullet points of things here. And so what is statistics? What does it mean? All the good stuff. We're good. So there's your PowerPoint if you want to cover that. How do you download them? Is underneath the files menu right over here. We're going to cover the rest of the stuff as well, but I'm just kind of going in order of tabs here. It says Math 25 Lectures, so click on that. And once it loads, let's wait here. Okay, there's 1.1, so clicking on this, it'll open it up to view a little more of a larger screen, so you can view it like this. Alright, notice it's a little bit of a larger screen here to see things. Just waiting. Okay, if you don't want to view it on screen, and my preference is you click this little download button right over here. Download button, it'll tell you to open it up in probably Adobe or Adobe Reader, or sorry, PowerPoint, sorry. Clicking on that, and voila, you have it in front of you in PowerPoint. View it, look at it, and go from there. Okay, that's just one way to look at the PowerPoints. I would suggest you look at the PowerPoints also with the video. They'll show you how to find where to find. Okay, I'm going to click off of this. It's going to take too long to load here. Yep, because I stopped it, that's why. Okay. So those are the modules. So let's go back to home. I know this is going to be kind of a long video here. But once you progress through this, I think you should be fine seeing how things are going to work. Alright, then there's the watching of the Math My Lab videos. And then for each chapter you complete the homework here. For chapter 2, even though there's a whole bunch of different PowerPoints, you're only going to do 2.3 and 2.4. That is it for chapter 2. Chapter 3, all of the sections. There should be 4 sections. Look at the videos, complete the homework. Chapter 4, Chapter 5. Once you're done with Chapter 5, we are ready for the midterm exam. So the midterm exam is stated for June 30th. It will be available the whole day. I think it opens up like 1 o'clock in the morning, and it closes again at 8:59 p.m. So right before 9 p.m. because we're on Eastern Standard Time. Alright, then you're going to progress through the rest of the course. This is chapter 6, 7, 8, and 9. And you got the final exam on the last day. We also have the SLO exam on this day as well. So that is the home page. That's what you're going to get to each and every single time. If there are any announcements, which I usually don't do, but I usually send you guys emails. That's probably the best way to communicate than putting a whole bunch of announcement blogs over here each time. So we'll see how that works. Alright, assignments, you're going to do those mostly in the My Math Lab or My Lab and Mastery. So let's click on this here. So in order to sign up for the My Lab, it is a 2-week trial version. So you have 14 days to try it, use it, see if this class will fit for you. And we go from there. Okay, so you're going to click on this. So then this is the instructor version. All right, you guys will have your own when you click on it. In fact, let's do this here. Let me go through the Files menu before we come back to this, and then that'll probably be an easier way to view things. All right, underneath the Files menu, clicking on here, here's all the resources for the class. One thing I haven't posted on here is the SLO study guide. So first things first, how do you link Canvas in the My Lab? And so that's what we were just over here, the My Lab Mastery. Clicking on this. Alright, this tells you how to set up the My Lab and Mastery account. So you click on it, and it'll take you to accept a user license right away. When you click on that, it'll tell you either to create a Pearson account, or if you already have one, you can put in your username and passcode. And then you go from there. If you have to create it, it'll say create, and after that you can pay right away if you like, but I suggest don't pay yet. Try it for 14 days and then pay before the 14th day is up. That's the best way I figure to do that. And then you're not out money unless you know for sure you're doing this class and that's it. Alright, so read this page, very informative. If you get stuck, email me. Alright, next is the assignments. How do I think this should progress? And so what I made a calendar of the first day of class all the way to the last day of class. And this is how I think is the best balanced way of doing it here. That does not include work on the weekends. It just is a simple format of how much to do and how to spread it over the whole entire 6 weeks. If this thing ever pops up. Hopefully it pops up soon. Essentially what you're doing is you're doing about a section a day, which means you're learning it and then you're completing the homework. Now you'll notice that on the online portion, when we get to the My Math Lab, I have everything due at chapter intervals. Like chapter 1 is all due at one time, chapter 2 is all due at one time, chapter 3. But as far as spreading the workload, this is kind of my little plan of it here. Alright, it's not loading. Alright, now it loaded, and then I just put it into Adobe Acrobat. But here it is. Here's the way I sort of see the class progressing here. So these are the homework sections that you should be doing. So chapter 1 is 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. We're only going to cover 2, 3, 2, 4 for chapter 2. And then we progress. So notice it's about a section a day that you do. So there are a couple of days, actually 3 or 4 days here, where you're going to have to double up on 2 sections here just so we can complete the rest of it here. So chapter 4, there's kind of 2 sections right there to double up on. Chapter 5, here's your midterm on June 30th. Then we go into July, 6-1, 6-2, and then there is no class on the 3rd. I can't have any assignments due. That is the observance of the Happy 4th of July celebration right there, even though it's on a Saturday. Okay, then I do have you guys doubling up on the end of chapter 6, doing chapter 7, and then chapter 8 and 9 are just going to be due right at the end. And so on the last day you have the SLO exam that's due, and then you also have the final that's due. So the 17th of July is the end. It is 6 weeks. I will tell you, class, it is crazy fast to learn it. I'm sure you're going to have to take weekends to keep on going, unless you can designate 4 to 6 hours a day just to do this. And but 6 weeks goes really, really fast. All right, back to the class here. All right, there's that. Let me close that up. Okay, then you look at this right here. This is the Math 25 Final Study Guide, and then there's a Midterm Study Guide. We'll take a look at those just a bit here, but the lecture notes, if you want to get all the PowerPoints, click on that folder and download it, as we talked about it before. And then also we have an ADA compliant PowerPoint lecture notes. They're just a bigger font. There's a lot of more slides so you can see it, so there's those as well. All right, and then there's the syllabus in case you want a PDF version of the syllabus. But let's go to the midterm study guide. Just want to show you the flavor for it. All right, the midterm study guide, this is what it looks like. And as you're doing your homework, please be mindful. This is question number 1 on the midterm. It's coming from chapter 1.1. And the instructions are going to be distinguish between descriptive stats and inferential statistics and make inferences. So as you progress through 1.1, you are going to see something that looks like that. And so these are the questions that I think are a little bit more important, and so they get to go to be on the midterm exam. So the midterm exam is pulled from your homework, and I just changed the problem just up just a little bit. But essentially there is your midterm. All right, then the second question on the test comes from 1.2, and that's going to be the instructions. So classify data using the 4 levels of measurement. So as you're doing your homework for 1.2, pay especially careful to that question, because that question will come up again on the midterm. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Maybe have this even in front of you, print this out, have it in front of you, so you know which questions to pay more attention to, especially as you're doing each of the sections homework. Okay, and the syllabus we already covered in the previous lecture. If you want to download, go for it here. Okay, with that said, and with the linking Canvas to the My Lab site, you should be able to do that now at this point. Okay, we're going to get to actually going to the My Math Lab in just a bit here, but let's go through the other stuff here. So you will have discussion boards. You got to click on here, and you'll have discussions to post. I have it outlined for 5 discussion boards. That's about 1 discussion board a week. Hopefully we'll get there. But there'll be discussion here. You start it, and you have 10 points to submit your own view of things, and then 5 points to respond to 2 others in the class. So 5 points each. So each time there's about 20 points per discussion board. The grades, since I'm in instructor view, you can't see it here, but yes, your grades are going to be here in Canvas. You're going to click on it to show your grades. Files we covered, syllabus we already covered, modules is the same as the home page. Alright, there's a Zoom Confer, and that's going to be for the non-credit class here as we go through those. I do want to cover 2 more things here called the Net Tutor. So if you are And you are a student at West Hills College. You could be a student at West Hills College Coalinga or Lemoore, so that's the distinction here. If you're a Coalinga student, you're a WHCC. Lemoore student, WHCL. When you click on it, it'll take you to a site, and it has a whole bunch of different subjects. And this is a tutoring site. That's an online tutoring. Every single student in West Hills College District, you guys have 40 free hours of tutoring by a person that has at least a bachelor's degree. So for our class, real quick here, let's go down here. So that's not bad. There it is, statistics and probability. All right. As you click on that, you have two different options for the tutoring process as soon as it loads. All right, you can go to it, click on it, and it's a live tutor. And stated before, these guys all have degrees in the field that they're doing, at least a bachelor's degree. Some have a master's degree in the field. You click on it, you wait a little bit here, a live tutor comes on, and then you ask your question, you have the interaction. Please use this resource. Please tell me how you like it or not like it. Even email me if something is really, really wrong. All right. The other option is you can drop off a question. So click on here. You really are stuck on something, drop it off, and they usually will respond within 24 hours. And on the bottom right over here, here's kind of the previous sessions. So all these sessions here, live sessions, are recorded and they're posted here. Or if you dropped off a question, the feedback is over here. So you have a list that kind of keeps on growing over here. Anyways, utilize it. Please tell me how you like it. For the most part, in previous semesters here, students say it was pretty good. It was pretty good. The tutors knew what they were talking about. Went from there. Okay, so there's that. So now let's jump into the MyLab and Mastery website itself. There's the other piece to it. And so you click on here. Here's the way you're going to do it. You're going to click on here and you're going to open up. I think I can go from here as well. Yeah. So open up the MyLab and Mastery. Alright, I get the instruction view as well, but I will point out things that you see as well. So I do have a grade book here. That's all set up. Even though you guys are not going to look at the grade book here, you're going to use the grade book in Canvas here. So this is the instructor homepage. It has a lot of stuff that yours won't. Alright, it says it's loading up slowly. We'll wait just a bit. Alright, there it is. There's the instruction view. That's not what I want to show you here. And so you do have a calendar here of your assignments that are due. They do have test dates on them. So notice chapter 1 is due on the 15th of June. Good. And then chapter 2 is also due that day. And so you can do it by just assignments here. If you want to find the calendar view of it as well, you can flip the view on yours, and so you can have that and keep on going. Right? If you want to click on just assignments themselves, you have that option, and click on section 1.1 homework and keep on going. Okay, and this is kind of like what you do. Here's your due dates on it, so this is an easier, I think, view of things. Alright, before we get there and look at the homework questions themselves, two things to look at is the ebook. So if you purchase this, you do have a e-text that comes along with it. So you don't have to purchase a physical textbook in your hand. If you want to purchase a physical textbook in your hand, absolutely go ahead. But the ebook, usually it gets stuck here, so I have to do it twice here before it comes on. So this is the full entire textbook that you normally would have. Alright, and there it is. It finally loaded. So there's your textbook. As you go through the course, if you want to find anything on it here, if you want to read through the textbook, if that something was not clear on the PowerPoints, then go for it here. So the ebook, there it is. Very important, I think, in understanding the course here. So let me go back to this one here. So that was the EAP text. So use it however you think. There are practice problems in the textbook here that you can do, and you can get answers in the back of the textbook as well. So good resource there. The other resource that I want you guys to really pay attention to is the Multimedia Library right over here. Clicking on that, and here's what I want you and how to use it. As we're studying Chapter 1, what you do is you go to Chapter 1 and you click on Select All. Go ahead and find it. Alright, and here's a few things here. So here's your multimedia textbook. If you want to go to the textbook right away from here, perfect, go for it. The PowerPoint slides that I have already on Canvas, those are right over here as well. I had to download them individually, okay, but the two important things are right here. So here's are the lecture videos from the publisher. Here are the lecture videos for the class itself. So this is what I would do. I would get the PowerPoints, have that in front of me, and then I would click on these videos and I would watch the video. And it's almost like watching a lecture of the class. So in between the PowerPoints and the videos here, you should get a very good understanding of the class itself. If you need to go back to the textbook, then go back to the textbook as well if you still want to just kind of read it through. But it's also divided up into segments in case you want to just sort of see. I lost it here. Let me do this again. So section 1.1. If you want to see a specific example, it's also listed down as examples here. Alright, let's wait for it to load. Alright, and so if you want to just do an example at a time, that's fine. Identifying data sets. Notice this little thing becomes dark because you go to it. And then example 2, example 3 here. So it does an intro to the video itself. And so it's really a course. In fact, it's the co-author of the textbook doing this right over here. It's Betsy. Alright, so there's your video lectures. I figure this is the best way to progress the course. It is just like listening to lectures. They're not that long as well. Like 1.1 is 6 minutes long. And so 1.2 is 7 minutes long. There's a 14 one, okay? Then there's one almost like the skills you need to know in order to progress through these sections here. So if you I totally forgot how to convert decimals to percents. There's a quick little 1-minute lecture on that. How do you convert percents to decimals? There's a 2-minute lecture on that. So these are like basic skills you might have forgotten, and you have videos for those. I think this is such a huge, good resource right over here. Multimedia, you should sort of play in this all semester long as you do it. Okay, then there's also some animations and there's some apps. So animations is going to tell you what is randomness. I won't click on it now here, but it's some interactive sort of a website that you can play with, crunch numbers on, put numbers in, see what happens if you do this. All right. Applets are the same way. You go into it, you look at, punch in numbers and see what you get. And I've never tried this one before, the test prep videos. I'm not sure what those are. If you want to take a look at it, if it helps you, use them. If not, then don't. But those are available as well here. But I figure the two main ones are the PowerPoint here and the section video lectures. All right. So let's go back up to our assignment. So I'm going to go back to assignments right here. I'm going to click on 1.1 and it goes up like this. It opens up like this. This one has 15 questions to do. This is section 1.1 and let's go with it here. Click that open. And some of these are fill-in, some of these are multiple choice. Just depends on which one it is. Okay, you can save your work here and then you do a final check over here. So How's a sample related to a population? Let me do this one here. Alright, you click on the final check here and it tells you, oh, that's incorrect. No. You can go to the next question. You can try again. Most likely we should try again. And so we redo it here. The final check on this one here. Oh, no way. I still got it wrong. How about this one? C. And notice they move around. Yes, there it is. Okay, so now I got it right. Move on to the next question and you keep on going. If you want to see your complete list, so notice I got that one right, and then you can kind of have a complete list of what you need to keep on going with. Alright, so once all these are checked marked correctly, you're good to go. You're done. So they are not always multiple choice. Sometimes they're pull down menu. Alright, sometimes, let's see if I can randomly find one. Sometimes they ask for numbers. And so 1.1 I think is probably going to be more of pull down menu and multiple choice, because we're sort of thinking about statistics as you progress through the other ones here. You do have some question help as well. Clicking on that, you go to video explanation. Hey, I think that's what we were before. You go to the textbook. You can go to a stat cruncher, which means it allows you to put in numbers and get numbers out. All right, ask the instructor if you like. We go from there. So that's the only one that we haven't seen yet so far. And so this one I will let you guys explore. How about that? There's applets. So if you want to find a Bayes rule, which we'll cover, that's fine. If you want to look at intervals here, you can also, let's see that one here. So there's a stat. There's some calculators if you need to. So this is a good way to sort of see. You can put in numbers here as well and graphs. You can make a pie chart. You can make a bar graph, if you like. Okay, so the applets will be useful as well as you look at them here. So there's your random numbers right over here. So list value of 1, max value is 3, sample size is 1, and then you start crunching. Hey, all right, random numbers 2. There it is. Okay, please take the time again, play around with this, see if this makes sense to you, use it. Some students shy away from it last semester, some students really liked it, so up to you how you want to use it. Alright, I think that completes our introductory videos to the class itself. I think we've covered everything else here. Wish you guys a great semester. And remember, if you want to stay in the class, please email me today that you're stating that you want to stay in the class. And then sign up for the MyLab and Mastery website. Alright, bye-bye. Wish you well.